Back with another ELA lesson. All right, so we are still continuing our focus on figurative language and applying that knowledge to our fairy tales, fables, and our folk tales. But we are moving out of the realm of fairy tales and we are moving into the realm of fables. And we're going to take a closer look at fables. If you remember, fables are stories that are passed down from generation to generation, and usually the characters are animals. And there also is a moral or a lesson to the story that the author wants you to learn, some life lesson that they want you to get from the story that you just read or that you might have heard read to you, like today. So, like I said, our focus is fables. Now, we were comparing and contrasting different versions of fairy tales. But like I said, we're out of fairy tale world and into fable land. And so what we are going to start doing is comparing and contrasting characters within those stories, seeing what is similar and what is different between the characters, the plot, how they operate, things they do, maybe even down to the lesson that they learn. There are some fables where the same lesson is learned, but in a different way. So we're going to take a closer look at that and dive deeper into fables while doing so. So 2 stories you will hear read to you today. The first one I myself will read to you, and that book is called Lion and Mouse, a very, very popular Aesop fable. The second story you will hear read to you will be a YouTube reading of a African fable called Anasi the Spider. Now, Anasi goes on all different types of adventures, and the adventure that you're going to learn about today is Anasi and the beans. You're going to learn about Anasi and the beans. All right, so I will read this to you, and then there will be a link as well for the Anasi the Spider fable. And then you will listen to both. And then at the end of me reading, I will explain the assignment that you're going to do. Okay? Let's start. Lion and Mouse. This was written by Jaro Butrago and Raphael Yachteng. Lion and Mouse. This is actually one of my favorite Aesop fables. In the woods, there lived a very lovely lion who was like a son, and a small mouse who was a busybody and a glutton. If you don't know, a glutton means you eat, lots. Greedy for food. One day, the mouse marched into the lion's house without being invited. That sure is a brave mouse. Being well-mannered, he wiped his feet on the lion's mane. Before he could leave without saying goodbye, the lion grabbed him. "Where are you going, Breakfast?" the lion asked him. "Breakfast?" said the mouse. "Don't eat me today, please. I'm off to see my girlfriend." "Someone as small and ugly as you couldn't have a girlfriend." "But I do, and if you let me go, I might be able to return the favor." "Ha ha 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 ha!" laughed the lion as only lions can. "Such an insignificant little animal as you is going to return the favor? Get out!" And the mouse ran away. Insignificant means being of no use or importance, and is the most insulting thing you could say about me, a mouse. The next day, the lion went out for a walk and found a very handsome ham hanging from a tree. Now, what are the odds of that? See, there's the ham right there. It was a hunter's trap, and he fell into it. In those days, people were foolish and hunted lions. Unfortunately, not just in those days, still hunting lions to this day. As the lion was crying, the mouse appeared. But the lion didn't recognize him because all mice look alike to him. "It's me, Mr. Lion," the mouse said. "Yesterday's mouse?" "And what do you want?" "I can rescue you from your trap." The lion felt like laughing again, but it didn't seem like such a good idea just then. The mouse bit through the net that was covering the lion and freed him. The lion was astonished. He had been rescued by someone so small. "I told you I'd return the favor," exclaimed the mouse before he fled into the bushes. One rainy day, the lion met the mouse again, and with his immense paw, he protected him from the rain. "Another favor," the mouse said with annoyance. "Now I'm going to have to do another favor for you, and you'll have to do another for me, and then I another, and you another, and then I another, and—" "Enough," said the lion. "I'm doing it because I don't want you to get wet." And that is how they began to be good to each other. These weren't favors. They didn't do this because they expected to get something back. Look at them playing. That's such a cute picture. They ended up living together in the lion's house because there was more room there than in the mouse's home. One day the lion went up very, very close to the mouse to see him better. "You know, seeing you so close up, friend mouse, you aren't at all, not at all ugly." They lived together nicely the rest of their days in the woods they loved so much. The lion walked through the bushes with his good mouse sitting on his head. The end. All right, so that was Lion and Mouse. So I just read that to you. Now you're going to have to pause my video. Unless if you watched mine second, then you could keep going. But you do need to make sure that before you move on to the next part of the activity, that you have listened to the Anasi, the spider's fable about him and the beans, okay? When you are done with both, you are going to create yourself a Venn diagram. And you are going to label this circle lion and this circle Anasi, the spider, and you are going to compare and contrast the lion and the lion and mouse story and Anasi and the spider fable. All right. You need to tell me 3 things that only apply to the lion and his story. What were only 3 things that the lion did? 3 things that the lion learned. I want to know 3 things that only happened in the Anasi story, that only applied to Anasi and what was going on in his plot through his fable. And then you're going to tell me 2 things that both fables share. Maybe they share the same lesson or theme. Maybe they share the same characters. Maybe there is an event that they shared. Maybe their main character is similar and what the main character went through was similar. But you need to come up with 3 differences for each story and 2 similarities that both stories share. All right, this is due by Friday the 17th. I also want you to tell me, what was the theme? What was the theme to the lion and mouse? And what was the moral and the theme to Anasi? So I should see a completed Venn diagram, and then either on the bottom of your Venn diagram or on the back, you should have the theme for Anasi and what was the theme for the lion and the mouse. All right? Like always, I love you. I hope you are staying safe and staying healthy. And I can't wait to see all of you soon. Well, hopefully soon. All right? And take care. Keep up the good work. I am so proud of all of you.